Good afternoon, Steve Lentini. I'm President and CEO of Lord and Lentini Training. Maybe some of you can guess who my partner is, and we'll all meet him someday. So, two things that I wanted to talk about is how to make a connection with people faster. And when you make a connection, you sell more often, but it's not about your goals. It's not about what you want. It's about being connected to people, making a connection, not just eye contact, but making a deeper connection because you're fully present and mindful. And then you help people buy. You really hear what they need and what would solve their problem. And you're there to solve a problem, whether it's you or not. See, that's the hard thing for most salespeople. And by the way, you don't sell everybody, and there's a reason for it. And if you know up front who's a good fit for you and who isn't, you'll help them make that determination with good questions. And so how do you make a great contact with people? So I use Everything Disc. I'm an authorized partner for Everything Disc and the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team. And with Everything Disc, my salespeople learn how to make a quick connection because they understand one of the 12 personality types that they're in front of. So it's not like 164 personality types. There are some tests that are very good, but they're just too complicated to remember on the fly when you're in front of someone and you want to help them make a good decision and trust you and feel like they can trust you. And of course, that has to be genuine. But the thing is, they'll feel like they can trust you if you understand first how they want to hear information, right? So the golden rule is give what you want to get. The platinum rule is to give to others what they want to get. So DISC helps people learn. It helps you learn who's in front of you. Are they a C, a CD, or a CS? Are they a DISC? Are they a D? I mean, are they a DC, a DI, or a D? And so forth. The I and the S's. So the thing is once you know who you're in front of, and there's a few questions that you can ask yourself when the person's in front of you, and you can quickly determine who's in front of you, whether they're a C or a D or an I or an S, and all the different subsets. You can pretty much figure it out and be right on target. So first, find someone that can help you, that can give you the Everything Disc for sales. And then spend some time with them so they coach you on it, or find a seminar, or contact me. I'm glad to help you. But again, I'm trying to help the biggest amount of people find the right fit for them. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. And if you decide that you want to use my services, that's fine. I'm glad to help. It's what I do. Help people succeed. I've been helping people win since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. So the second thing is, once you make that connection, people feel like they can trust you. The wall comes down, and it's simply because you are really accurately matching and mirroring them. You're providing them with what they need, right? How they hear. And a D, they hear the facts, short and sweet, yes, no questions. They want the facts from you, and they don't want a big presentation. The I's, they want an enthusiastic, effusive presentation. They want to feel your passion. The S's, they want to make a connection with you. They'll talk with you for 40 minutes out of a 1-hour conversation, right? They'll really want to understand you first before business. Don't go into business with someone who's an S, if you know what that means, right? On the DISC. And with a C, it's very similar. So with a C, though, they're skeptical and questioning. They don't want the enthusiasm, and they don't want to chat for 40 minutes. They'll spend some time talking, but they're going to have a lot of questions for you. They're going to have a lot of questions. So encourage them, even suggest some questions for them. And that's how you can sell more, because you're in that person's space. You're in their shoes. And that's what works. That's what works today. And the other thing is, understanding that you live in a universe. People hear me talk about this, and some of them get uncomfortable, but you live in a universe, and you can bring that power with you. Most of the people that I coach know that I had a near-death experience, and I can tell you there is another side But without getting into that, I can tell you, you can bring that power with you without having to experience what I experienced, right? I don't wish that on anyone, although it was the greatest gift of my life. It was the greatest gift of my life because I'm grateful for every moment. I'm present and mindful since that experience on November 18th, 2002. An amazing transformation, having a body than not having a body. And what I'm trying to tell you is that don't think in limited, small-minded ways. I typically have an acorn here. I don't have one here, but think of an acorn. That's small-minded thinking because you look at an acorn and you know it could be an oak tree. You do, right? But an acorn represents small-minded thinking. Anytime you're judging or you're believing you can or you feel down on yourself or you just have to keep going and push through that perceived barrier, right? It's a perceived barrier by you. Who's the thinker of the thought? And for you to remember that you live in something limitless, and regardless of what you call it, just remember to bring that miracle power with you. And that's the way to do that is you can silently wish people joy, success, and happiness. There's an energy you're projecting. And if you're enthusiastic and positive and not attached to outcomes, see, that's another secret key, not attached to outcomes. You can't control what people decide. You can only control what goes into their decision, which is you can help them hear they need you, and you can help them feel comfortable with you based on the energy you project. Don't be there to make money, to make a commission, to close a deal. That's called commission breath, and it stinks. Be there to help people. You'll be amazed at how much you close. I've closed million-dollar deals helping people, willing to walk away and helping people, and closed million-dollar deals. Harvard University, Spalding & Sly Real Estate. I can go on and on. Theater groups in New York City I helped close. Again, helping people buy, not being afraid to share the truth, and helping them and helping me understand what is it they really need and what would be best. And so we were a good fit. And I urge you to find that fit. And I urge you to find an authorized partner for Everything Disc and study yourself too. You can take some discs to a 363 to understand how you show up so that you can tweak it, right? Most salespeople don't want any feedback. They don't want to know how they show up. Well, guess what? They're closing 40% fewer deals. And they think, well, no, I just didn't get those, right? They were dummies, or they didn't know how to make a decision, or what it boils down to is you didn't know how you show up, and you could have closed 40% more of those deals if you could have just been willing to adjust your own behavior. That's what salespeople sometimes don't get. Very often don't get that. That my training program, I work on helping people, learn how they show up, self-examination. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So I help them learn how they project that energy to others and how they show up. And when they learn to tweak that, their sales increase. It's amazing how it works. I've been doing this for over 20 years and have a lot of clients still with me for a reason. And I don't teach role play and that kind of back and forth, because role play takes you out of that mindful place, that fully present place that you can make a connection with. That's the important place to be in. Role play only teaches you. I've had people call me years ago when I was licensed to do another sales training, and they'd say, Steve, what do you say when the customer says this? I was like, what are you doing? Get back in that meeting. Forget trying to remember some role play. Be who you are. Be confident in the company you work for. Be proud of it. Have some passion for the product you sell. And know that when you go there, you're doing them a good thing, because you're going to help them find the best fit, whether it's you or not. That has integrity, right? Integrity. If you're giving out the energy of integrity, people are going to sense that. Plus, you can give them testimonials about your own integrity. So keep learning, keep growing, and get an assessment, Everything Disc. It'll help you go through the course. It'll help you. If you need information on that, go to my website, stevelentini.com. That's SteveLentini.com. Steve Lentini, LENTINI.com. Glad to help. Thanks.